Okay, I'd like to go ahead and call the Circleville City Council meeting to order. It is Tuesday, December the 2nd, 2025 at 7 p.m. Melissa, could you please do the roll call?
Keller.
Here.
Hedges.
Here.
Tice.
Here.
Litzka.
Here.
Allanen.
Here.
Moats.
Here.
Lukasak.
Here.
Here. If we could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the invocation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our Father, who art
in heaven,
hallowed
be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
Council, you should have received a copy of the last city council meeting minutes on November the 18th, 2025. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes?
Make a motion to accept.
Motion to approve by Jeff Hallinan, second by John Moats. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, thank you very much. Reports from council members and committee reports. Does any council member have a report? Katie Hedges, the Finance Committee Chair.
Thank you, President Keller. So we had a Finance Committee meeting on November 12th, November 18th, and before this meeting. For the 12th and the 18th, there are pieces of legislation that will be discussed further down the agenda. For the meeting that we had prior to this meeting, we discussed some opioid fund requests, as well as a housekeeping ordinance, and then a resolution for tax levies. The other thing I did want to just say was the St. Joseph's Catholic Church, one of the things that they always do for Thanksgiving is deliver and house those who are sick, alone, need food for Thanksgiving. They served over 400 meals this year, which was incredible. They also do that same thing on Christmas Day. So I just wanted to make an announcement for that. There is a way to sign up ahead of time. You can also come to the church to pick up your meal, but that is available in a free service from the St. Joseph's Catholic Church on Mound Street.
Great, thank you very much. Anyone else? Sherry Tice, Strategic Planning Chair.
Thank you, President Keller. We did have a strategic planning meeting on November 18th and have an ordinance on the agenda this evening, which I will speak to at that time. I also would like to thank everyone who has donated to the Toys for Tots program through PICA. The directors at our board meeting said the need is very great this year. So if you are able to donate and can still do that to Toys for Tots, there's a way to donate online, or you can bring a toy. That would be much appreciated. The toys do need to be in, though, I think in the next week or so they can be distributed. The distribution has already begun.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Anyone else? Tom Duvall, Service Committee Chair.
We also had a meeting on the 18th of November. It lasted about 1 hour and 37 minutes. It was a marathon meeting, and that's why we have 9 ordinances to consider this evening. I'm sure you're looking forward to them.
We have some representatives here to help us.
And I appreciate the fact that we have people can talk about what's going on.
Great. All right, thank you, Tom. Audrey Lukasak.
I had received a letter from Ken Tennant from Community Cupboards of Pickaway County. He wanted to be here tonight to thank everybody, but he asked if I could read this. This note is our sincere thank you for the incredible support that the City Council, along with numerous local government departments and agencies, provided to the Community Cupboards of Pickaway County. We understand the huge amount of coordination and its work it took to plan and implement the largest single food drive that our Community Cupboards program has ever had. An event such as this takes a very high level of coordination and teamwork. Though we know there were hundreds of people that supported this event in multiple ways, we recognize and appreciate the enormous amount of work that Katie Logan Hedges put in to make this food drive a reality. The 11,500 individual food and toiletry items donated will be provided to anyone in need of our county through our 24 local outdoor pantry cupboards. Your donation event alone makes it possible for us to distribute food and toiletries over the next few winter months of our neighbors that are struggling financially. The generous and support of all those that made this event a huge success is truly appreciated. Thank you, Katie and the Circleville City Council and so many others for all that you've done to make Circleville and Pickaway County a great place to live. Thank you. Ken Tennant.
Great. Thank you very much. Yeah, that was a great contribution by a lot of people, and we well used and deserved.
Well, I would just add that what his letter doesn't say is it was a competition where the loser will get mock arrested. And so sometime this week, the Circleville Police Department will be arresting Sheriff Hafey because the police or the sheriff's department came in last place.
I got you.
And so he has to actually bail out, and the money to bail out is also being donated to the community cupboards.
He'll know
Thank
better next. He'll know better next.
They will indeed.
Can't wait for the pictures.
Great. Thank you. Anyone else? All right. Reports from city officials that are here tonight as council guests. We have the auditor and the mayor. Mark, do you have a report?
No, sir, I do not.
All right. Thank you. Mayor Michelle Blanton.
Thank you, President Keller, members of council. I do have a couple of items. It snowed overnight. I'm sure you guys were aware of that. I will say that today our city office was closed, but our employees were still working. The city is a service-based organization. We provide services to people. We also have essential workers and we have non-essential workers. And so our essential workers include anyone who works in utilities, the police department, and the fire department. Those departments were out in full force today, I think as early as 4 or 5 o'clock this morning, working to get the streets plowed and to respond to accidents and other things that were happening throughout the city today. And so I just wanted to let you all know that the city was very much still running today. And we were still providing services to our citizens. The second thing is we do have an inclement weather policy that goes along with that, so that we do have employees that work for the city that don't live in the city. They come from outside. And so there are situations where their home county may be on a different level. And so we have a call tree and different things like that that myself and the directors go through to make sure that people are safe and that we're not putting anybody in undue harm by having them come in. And so I wanted to make you guys aware of that. We are making a slight tweak to the level 2 portion of that. Level 1, based on conversations between the employee and the director. Level 2 will have a little bit more meat. Level 3, when Sheriff Hafey does put us on a level 3, then we don't want anybody on the streets. And the main reason we have snow emergency is because we want those people who are servicing to be able to do their jobs. That's why they're called essential. And so the guys that are out plowing the streets so that people can continue to work after that, we want those roads to be cleared, and they need to be able to do so safely by not having people on the streets. And so that's those levels. And so making sure that people understand that that's why we have those things and why sometimes people aren't in the office. Next is the December newsletter. The December newsletter was sent out. If you are not currently getting the Circleville Loop, please sign up. You can have it emailed to you. It will go directly to the email that you give to us, and you will get it at the beginning of every month. There is a lot of information in the Circleville Loop. The one thing that I wanted to capture and to talk about was the calendar of events. There's a lot going on this upcoming weekend between different businesses throughout the community. I don't want to even attempt to list the things that are going on because I know I'll forget something, but I will highlight that the current Christmas parade is this Saturday, and the tree lighting that had been at Ted Lewis or at Pumpkin Show Park will now be at Ted Lewis Park. And so we will be lighting the Christmas tree, and that is also where the Santa house will be. And so Uptown Circleville is kicking off the Christmas season this coming weekend. So we invite everyone to come out. More information about events that are going on can be found on a multitude of Facebook pages, including Uptown Circleville, the Visitors Bureau, the Chamber, the City Council, the City of Circleville. And then, of course, the newsletter, The Loop. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you very much. Council, do you have any question tonight for our elected officials? No? This brings us to the portion of the meeting where the public can address city council. Anyone is welcome to come to the podium to address city council. You will have 5 minutes to speak. Our clerk will keep track of the time and give you a 30-second warning. When you come to the podium, you need to give us your name and your address. So who would like to speak? Welcome. So give us your name and your address.
My name's Donald Gippin. I live at 114 Rosewood Avenue here in Circleville. I live in Ted Lewis Park.
Donald, go right ahead.
The reason why I'm up here, my wife she's back here with me, that we got in the newspaper that you're going to raise the water bill up. How in the world can we raise the water bill up when people on Social Security is already paying high gas bill, electric bill, city taxes on their property? And we're only drawing Social Security. And next year, if it goes on what they're doing over in Washington, D.C., our insurance, our health insurance is going to go sky high. How are we going to afford our health department and doing the people we do down there in Ted Lewis Park? That's the reason why I come up here to ask the council, do not raise our water bill, because it's going to be hard for senior citizens on Social Security. Because I'm only drawing $1,500 a month. When you take that $1,500 and you're paying, say, $300 electric bill or $200 gas bill, you ain't going to have enough to even go out and buy groceries or pay gas for your car or, the little things like that. And I like the council here. It's been a long while since I've been here, because last time I got here, I had some things I was going to say, but I kept it in my head. I thank you all, and I'll let my wife come up here and talk to you too.
Right.
Thank you, gentlemen and ladies.
Thank you, Donald. Thank you very much for your input. Next. If you could give us your name and address.
Yeah, my name's Judy Giffen. I live at 114 Rosewood Avenue here in Circleville. And I seen the paper where they're talking about raising the water bills an extra $100 from what we pay from those who have average $77, $177. I don't know how we'll expect us senior citizens on Social Security afford that. We got all this other stuff to pay for. Also, I was wondering, where do all of our property taxes go that we pay out? Couldn't they use some of that to help with these bills or that water treatment plant they're planning? Couldn't they use some of that money?
I can answer that for you. No, water and sewer bills pay for the operation and maintenance of our water plant, our sewer plant, lines in the ground, the employees. Property taxes are not used for that. Those are called enterprise funds.
Yeah, but still, with all this other stuff you got to pay, it's going to be hard for senior citizens practically to make it on what they get for Social Security.
Mhm.
They'd almost have to mortgage their house to be able to afford all this.
Thank you for your input, though. I appreciate your opinion and coming up to council and telling us about it. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Anyone else? Dave, welcome. Give us your name and your address.
Yeah, my name is Dave Horning, 569 Plaza Drive in Circleville. And I just, my first comment is to ask a question. Has the administration or the city council received any letter from the EPA about this matter? I've heard a rumor about an EPA regulation coming down, and I don't know if there's a letter that has come from the EPA or the Ohio EPA on this matter. And if there is, I'd like you to send it. This is a public request for that.
Thank you.
If anything. Number two, I'd like to know if anybody knows the name of this regulation. Does anybody on city council know the name of this regulation that is going to come down the line?
I'm sure if there is one, we're going to hear about it here in a minute.
But so far, no, but you don't know the name of this regulation yet.
Can I clarify if he's speaking on behalf of himself or as the editor of the paper?
That's fine. I'm speaking on myself as a citizen of the city of Circleville.
Okay.
The third thing I'd like to talk about is I lived in Upper Arlington from 2000 to 2005. And during my early stay at the village, there was an issue very similar to this, where there was a rumor coming down of a regulation requiring sidewalks to be changed. They had to have slopes on them with nubs, and they had to be like, for handicapped people to have easy access. So the city of Upper Arlington was very proactive. They put in all their sidewalks. They redid them all, poured new concrete. And then 2 years later, when the final rules came down, they found that the early consultant version of what would be in compliance was not true. They had to jackhammer up all their sidewalk corners. They had to redo all of their sidewalks, because when the final regulations came down, that's what really needed to be done. So I say this as a counter to people say it's so good to be proactive. We want to be the first one to be there. I'd say that there's a real danger, a downside of that also. The fourth comment I'd like to make is that I went online. I don't know if you like Shark Tank or watch that TV show, but there is a HydroVive. It's a water filtration system that costs an initial charge of $175, and after that, it's $100 every 6 months or $200 a year. So if anybody wants to be relieved of the danger of PFAS in their water, this filtration system will do that at a cost of $200 per year, not $1,000 per year extra cost. So, and then the last comment I wanted to make is that I would hope you would hire an independent consultant to come in and address the condition of the water plant. I understand that there are engineering firms who are doing their best to consult with the city, but I don't know this for a fact, but I fear that they might have a vested interest in pushing this project forward if they would benefit from this. And I think an independent, unbiased view of our water plant would be very good. On October 7th, when there was a tour of the water plant, there was no mention of any problems or any imminent failure that was happening at the water plant at that time. And they did have a test pilot of a system in there that would remove the PFAS. So I thought we were well on the way to solving this problem without the need of a new water plant. So that's what I would ask you to do. I would ask my last comment is I would ask you to table this matter until you can provide us with what the EPA is requiring and get an independent assessment of the state of our water plant. That's my final comment. Thank you.
And for clarity too, Dave, just to be transparent, at the water plant, you were there reporting as the Herald though, right? Because you did do a follow-up story from that.
I did. On October 7th, I did a tour at the plant. Jim Stanley and Brian Frost were there, and I was there as a editor doing a paper, and I wrote a follow-up story on that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Come right on up. If you could give us your name and your address.
Brian Dixon, 350 East Mill Street. A lot of my complaints were already made already. There's elderly people that live here that they can't afford that. Like, we're getting raised on the electric bills, gas prices are going up, grocery prices are going up, mortgages, property taxes, it's all going up. And there's people out there that are less fortunate and they can't afford it. I know we got a new water treatment plant that's been worked on and stuff. And I guess I don't know a whole lot about what goes on, but I know some. But so I guess the price already went up due to that, which understandable. You got to pay for things when you got to fix them. But people you can't keep raising the money on people that can't afford it. I understand that you can't take property taxes to pay for stuff like that, but what about money from Pumpkin Show and other sources instead of hitting the people that live here? I just don't know if there's another way to go about it. I liked a lot of the points that man there made, saying maybe we table it for now and just see what can be done, get a third party in there and see if this is stuff that really needs to be done. So that's pretty much all that I got, guys.
Ryan, thank you very much for coming and giving us your input. We appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Thank you everyone for coming to the podium. And most of these things will hopefully be addressed when we get to reading the legislation. The city has administration have representatives here that maybe can speak and answer some of those questions. Okay. Melissa, do we have any communications?
Yes, we received the certificate of results of election from the state of Ohio, Pickaway County. The Board of Election of Pickaway County hereby certifies that an election held in the city of Circleville on the 4th day of November 2025, the vote cast on the following issue was as follows. Proposed municipal income tax, city of Circleville, a majority affirmative vote is necessary for passage. Shall the ordinance providing for a 0.5% levy increase on income, of which 0.1% of the increase shall be allocated for the purposes of general construction, reconstruction, resurfacing, and repair of the streets, roads, and bridges, and 0.4% of the increase shall be allocated for the purpose of operating and maintaining fire and emergency medical services. This is a permanent increase commencing January 1st, 2026, be passed. Votes for 1,393, votes against 669, total votes cast on the issue 2,062. And then it's just has their official seal certifying the results.
Great. Thank you very much. Can I have a motion to place the correspondence on file? So moved by Tom Duval, seconded by Sherry Tice. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, so council, before we go through 16 pieces of legislation, I requested that we allow Mr. Craig Saunders to come up from our Pickaway County Parks District to give us an introduction of himself and talk about updates. Craig, welcome to City Council.
Thank you guys so much. My name's Craig Sanders. My wife, Jenny, and I, and our 3 kiddos, JC, who is 4, Alex, who will be 5, and Sophia, who is 6, who attends Circleville Elementary, who's in kindergarten, are here in Circleville, and we're very excited about being here. I just want to tell you a little bit about ourselves and then also tell you a little bit about the Park District and why I was excited to take this position as the executive director for the Park District. So my wife and I have been married for 21 years. So very exciting on that. And we have had a ton of fun in those 21 years. We actually met here at Circleville Bible College, now Ohio Christian University. So we're very familiar with the area here in Circleville, and got to experience our probably our 4th or 5th pumpkin show, but our very first one with the kiddos this past year. So we were very excited about doing that. But for us, we have always looked at life as an opportunity. If there is an open door that is available, we are always willing to walk through it as much as we possibly can until that door is shut. And so for us, when this opportunity came about, I'll tell you a little bit about that. I was in Gallipolis as a park manager and recreation coordinator at a park district there called McIntyre Park District. And what my main duties there were to oversee Raccoon Creek County Park. And then I also ran a lot of our youth sports programs there. We had a youth soccer program that whenever I started in 2019, which served the entire county, was about 120-ish kids. So the program was doing pretty well. But in my time from 2019 until 2025, we were able to take that program from 120 kids to over 500 kids twice a year. So in the spring and in the fall, we averaged over 500 participating from the ages of 4 years old until 6th grade. And so for me, what I tell a lot of people about is my very first love is Jesus. And my second love is my wife, and my third love is sports. And sometimes number 2 and number 3 get a little bit mixed up. And so I've got to get that corrected at different times. But I will tell you that I really do love sports and I love people. And so in that opportunity that I had through OO McIntyre and using those opportunities through sports, we are able to grow a lot of great programs there with our soccer programs and also through our parks there in Gallipolis, and building great relationships throughout Gallia County with some of our legislators there, but then also just key contributors to our community. And there was nothing that I loved more than to build those relationships with those people. I am from Gallia County. I was born and raised there. And so it was really neat to be able to go back there and to serve there and to be able to serve there. Honestly, we moved back to Gallipolis in 2008. And so from 2008 until 2025, we were able to serve in a lot of different capacities in Gallia County through different churches and different organizations along those lines too. But this parks opportunity for me is what brought us to Circleville. And I'll tell you guys, most of you guys know Tom Davis, the former executive director. I had met Tom a handful of years ago at one of our main conferences that we have in Sandusky, Ohio, and built a good relationship with him. And then also our operations supervisor, Jamie Lands. And through those conversations and friendship building, really below Chillicothe, there isn't really another park district, for instance, in Jackson or, kind of in the Athens area or Pomeroy area there. So I was kind of trying to connect the dots to Chillicothe, to Ross County, and to Pickaway as it was. And so this past February, they were introducing Tom Davis at this conference and saying that he was one of the more tenured directors there, which if Tom was here, he would say that just means that he was older than everybody else. But in that moment, when he announced that, he said, I really appreciate that, but I will tell you guys, I've got 1 foot in and 1 foot out. I'm trying to retire. And if there's anybody here that's interested in this job, please come and see me. And of course, he looked across the room and our eyes kind of locked. And I was like, okay, Pickaway County, let's go check this out. So I spent a little time with Jamie Lands, talking to him and asking him all kinds of questions about how you guys do things here in Pickaway County. And then ultimately spent some time with Tom in that 3 to 4 day period at our conference. And as I was traveling back, which would have been in mid-February, Tom said, hey, as you travel back down 23, please stop by. We would love to show you the old Cooks Creek, which is Esker's Edge, which is our new district office. And I would like to show you around a little bit. And so, of course, this was an opportunity for us that we weren't thinking about doing anything. I was 43 at the time and was getting comfortable in what I was doing in Gallia County. But I will also tell you that C word, being comfortable, sometimes is a cuss word in my family. That just means that something great is about to happen. And so as I spent some quality time with Tom and with Jamie, and they showed me around and showed me what the park district was all about, the more and more I began to drive back down to my house in Gallipolis, the more I continued to think about this might be the perfect fit for me. But I will also tell you that my wife and my 3 kiddos that we adopted we were kind of new. All the kids are young and they're a little crazy, a little wild, like young kids are. And so honestly, being comfortable in our community where the majority of my family is and the majority of our friendships were, it really wasn't a thing that probably for the first time in my life, I looked around and said to my wife, I don't think we should pursue this. I think we should stay. I'm too much of a crier, I guess, but she looked right at me and said, this is what we don't do. We step through. We see an opportunity and we grow there. And so she made me fill out the application because I clearly wasn't going to do so. And when I did, I got it back to Tom. And then I had to wait because I'm like, oh my goodness, are they really going to call? Are they really going to interview me? And so I got a call and Tom said, if you would, we would love to have you on February 24th to come and interview for us. My interview was at 12:30. And I know that that's probably too many details for you guys. But the really cool thing was I spent about 2 hours with them on that day. And as I got in my car, after meeting with some of the staff and kind of picking their brain a little bit about what they do and why they love it, before I can make it back to Gallia County, Tom Davis called me. He said, Craig, I know I told you that we would do second interviews and possibly a third interview, but before we left, we asked around the room, is there somebody that sticks out? Is there somebody that stands out? And he said, out of the board members in the room, they all said your name at the same time. So I thought, instead of us wasting our time and doing a second interview or a third interview, I would just call you and offer you the job. Of course, I hadn't made it home yet to that wife. And so I kind of stumbled all over myself and said, okay. And he was like, well, is that a yes? And I'm like, it's not a no. And so he kind of chuckled and said, I kind of seemed to think maybe he looked at his watch and he said, Craig, you're not back home yet, are you? And I was like, no, sir, I'm not. And he said, okay, well, you talk to Jenny and let me know something. And I said to him, you don't call anyone else. Like, give me a moment to talk to my wife and to see if this is something that she's interested in. And I don't know about you guys if you've ever interviewed for a job, but for us, we didn't think much of the interview. And so we didn't at that point share anything with any of our family members. Nobody from my side of the family and nobody from Jenny's side of the family who was originally from the Chillicothe area. And so as I got home, I lied to my wife and said, hey, I need your help at the car. Because her parents were in helping her with the kids. And I said, come out and help me with this pizza. And she would not come out of the house, just like just about every other wife. She said, why do I need to help you? She finally came out and I said to her, hey, they've already called. And she said, oh, that's great. Did they ask you for a second interview? And I said, no, Jenny, they offered me the job. And so at that point, we had a lot of discussions and had to have some quick discussions with our family and with our friends and be able to share with them that we felt like God was calling us to Pickaway County. And so my first day on the job was March 24th, so month to the day that my interview was. And so from that March date until now, we've had tons of awesome experiences here in Pickaway County. And we've really loved it. And some of those things I will tell you personally have happened here in the city of Circleville. And so my kiddos, all three of them, got to participate at Barthelmess Park in the youth soccer program there. And so my boys at the time were 3 and 4, so they got to play on the same soccer team, and I had the opportunity to coach them. So we hadn't been here very long, and I already got tabbed as a coach, which is something that I absolutely love to do. And I had the opportunity to coach Barry's 2 of his granddaughters, Olivia and Chloe, too. And so it was absolutely fantastic. We had a great time doing that. And then I also had a team that I coached of 5 and 6-year-olds, which is my daughter Sophia's team. And I will just tell you, we had a great time building some quality relationships with some of the folks that were there, some of the parents that had they were going through some of the difficult things that even were discussed here earlier tonight, and the fact of everybody's going through difficult times. And through the Park District, there is a real opportunity for us that when people are having a difficult time, that there is an opportunity for them to relieve some stress by coming to walk at one of our parks or check out one of our trails or whatever it might be. And so for my family and I, we have had a fantastic time here so far in Circleville and Pickaway County. I'm still absolutely getting my feet underneath of me and still running into brand new people each and every day. And so I would tell you guys, I would love for you to reach out and us to do lunch. We can go right over here to Richie's, which is one of my favorite places to eat because they have Richie does a great job doing a lot of gluten-free food, which I have a gluten allergy. And so it's fantastic to have some of those new things in the area, which we didn't have in Gallia County. There was about one place I could go to there. So just a fantastic time there. I want to kind of transition a little bit too in the fact of just talking a little bit about the Park District. I did bring kind of our winter calendar, which I know that you guys were able to have that in your agenda too, and I really appreciate that. This is also on our website. This winter park program, and each one of our quarterly programs will be on our website. Some of these events that are listed are our registration events. All of our events, for the most part, are free events. Most of the time, these registered events are events, honestly, just so we can learn and see how many people would like to attend those events and to see if it's something that's very popular or something maybe that we need to change just a little bit. And so that winter park program, you can kind of see a couple quick things over there. Each Wednesday, we do have what we call walk-along Wednesdays that happen at 9:30. And it goes to each one of our parks and different trails and places that we have. And so you can check that out on that too. And then one thing I wanted to kind of highlight is going to be on January 17th. This is our first annual winter hike. This hike will be at Canal Park. As you can see in the picture there is some snow on the ground. Hopefully that day there will be a little bit of snow, but also too, it'll give you an opportunity to kind get out of some of those winter blues, put some warm clothes on, and then just have an opportunity to fellowship and to build a relationship with those that are interested in that hike. And I will tell you, coming from a park district that has a lot of active pieces to it, to a park district that cares more about nature and your well-being. Not that we didn't do that in Gallipolis, but that this is more of a focus for the Pickaway County Park District. It is really neat to have different events like this annual winter hike in our community, and to give people the opportunity to get out of their house just a little bit and to do that. I will highlight one big event that we were able to do in October, and this was something brand new for our park district that turned out fantastic. We were able to build some quality relationships. Most of those relationships were some of the very first relationships that I was able to build here in Pickaway County, and host a trick or treat event that was almost like a trunk or treat is the way that worked. And it was at Esker's Edge, which is the old Cooks Creek. And we had a loop that went around, and at each one of the tables, you would either see a educational activity from our educator or some of our awesome volunteers through the Pickaway County Park District that would be maybe about bats or about bees or about butterflies or different things along those lines. But then also we would have our community partners there. Groups like our chamber were there, the Visitors Center was there, Gouge Roofing was there. A lot of different folks that just do a fantastic job in our community. Joy House came and did coffee, which anytime you can get them to show up, that's an absolute win, and they have quite a following. So we were able to serve almost 400 different people at that event, which was absolutely fantastic for us. This is something that through the park district that I don't know that they've done a ton of real big events like that. And so I think it was a very neat first step for us to be out in front and to give families the opportunity to do something a little bit different and to be able to have their kids learn, but also get the good candy from some of our different vendors and community partners in that too. And so for me, I will tell you guys that I've only been here since March, but I have loved every single second of it, and it's been fantastic to just build great relationships with you. I do have some of those for folks in the crowd. If you would like our winter programming, or even one of the flyers for the annual hike, I would be more than happy to give those to you. And then I also have some business cards too, if that's something that you guys are interested in. So at this time, if you have any questions, I would love to answer them.
Craig, thank you very much. Questions, council, from anyone? We appreciate you being in Circleville and
Absolutely.
our parks. And Circleville has a lot of parks, and we have a lot of work to do in our parks with developing them and adding features and getting things built. So we'll be reaching out to you.
All right, sounds good. Thank you guys very much. Have a great evening.
Take care.
Thank
Have a
you.
good evening. Okay. Melissa, are you ready to go for this legislation?
I guess.
Go right ahead up for the first one up for a second reading.
An ordinance to provide for current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Circleville, state of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2026.
Council, you've heard the second reading of this ordinance from the Finance Committee. Katie?
Thank you, President Keller. So this is the 2026 budget. It totals $39,610,519.43. That is almost a $13 million decrease from last year. The main reason behind that being the wastewater treatment plant loan for the work that was done. It also funds the positions that were not filled with the police department and the fire department in 2025. Mark, any other high-level overview?
Big thing I want to go cover that is that the as far as the funds go, the enterprise, which is the water and water treatment, is 17.6 million of this, and the city part is 21.8 million. So it's a pretty close to 50-50. Just so that's a big takeaway. Go ahead.
Yeah. Nope. And so our process is we always read this for 3 different readings. So this has been read in finance a few times and discussed. And then this is the second reading here. It did come from finance with a recommendation for passage.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Is there a motion?
Motion to hold for a third reading.
Motion by Katie Hedges to hold for a third reading, second by Jeff Hallinan. Roll call, please, on the motion to hold this for a third reading.
Hedges,
Yes.
Tice,
Yes.
Plitzka.
Yes.
Hallinan.
Yes.
Moats.
Yes.
Lukasak.
Yes.
Duval.
Yes.
The ordinance will be held for its third and final reading on December the 16th.
An ordinance to adopt a cybersecurity program and declaring an emergency.
Council, you've heard the first reading of this ordinance from the Strategic Planning Committee.
Thank you, President Keller. Yes, this did come out of our meeting on November 18th, and I'd like to ask Mayor Blanton to tell us a little bit more about it, although I understand that you can't give us a lot of details due to security reasons.
So the premise for this came out of the state legislature in House Bill 96. The city is required to adopt a cybersecurity program, and it's to safeguard its data, IT systems, and resources to ensure confidentiality, availability, and integrity. Every year, the state auditor's office is going to check in our annual audit if we have a plan in place. This plan is in place in the event that should the city's resources be hacked or we get some sort of malware or something like that, that we are required to report to the Ohio Department of Public Safety, and we are also required to report to the state auditor's office when those things happen. Ohio Revised Code Section 9.64 lays out all of those regulations. This came to us from the state auditor's office through the city auditor to the law director, the council president, and the administration.
Thank you very much.
Also, specific details of the cybersecurity plan are protected under the Open Public Records Act. And so details of the specific security program means that is not available. But we have to show that the city adopted a plan. And we have a plan through our managed service provider.
Other questions or comments?
I did want to ask, is there a cost involved with this program?
And with the plan, no, it's what we've had in place already.
Okay, but so there's no additional cost to develop this new program?
Not for the program that is underway now. There may be additional costs if we have to do additional things in the future.
To implement new parts of the new plan? I see. Okay.
And those guidelines and best practices are brought to us by the National Institute of Standards and Technology, Cybersecurity Framework, and the Center for Internet Security.
Katie?
I just wanted to highlight what Councilperson Tice had said, that there wasn't a cost associated with it, but if changes were coming up, that would be brought to a different committee.
Very good. Other questions or comments? If not, is there a motion?
Motion to suspend the rules?
Motion to suspend the rules by Sherry Tice, seconded by Tom Klitzka. Roll call, please.
Hedges.
Yes.
Tice.
Yes.
Blitzka.
Yes.
Hallinan.
Yes.
Moats.
Yes.
Lukasak.
Yes.
Duval.
Yes.
Council, you're free to act on the ordinance.
Motion for passage?
Motion for passage by Sherry Tice, seconded by Katie Hedges. Roll call, please, on the motion for passage.
Hedges.
Yes.
Tice.
Yes.
Blitzka.
Yes.
Hallinan.
Yes.
Moats.
Yes.
Lukasak.
Yes.
Duval.
The ordinance
Yes.
passes.
And is assigned 1281, 2025. An ordinance authorizing the Director of Public Service to enter into an agreement with Johnson Controls Fire Protection LP, 6200 Shamrock Court, Dublin, Ohio 43016, to replace the existing fire alarm control panel and devices, obviating formal bidding and advertising, and declaring an emergency.
Council, you've heard the first reading of this ordinance that originated from the Service Committee. Tom?
Thank you, President Keller. Chief, can you enlighten us on this? Number one, thank you for coming. Appreciate it.
Brian Thompson, Circleville Fire Chief. So I've been the city almost 6 years. Throughout my tenure, we've had ongoing issues with the fire alarm panel and the fire alarm system at the firehouse. The building was dedicated in 2002, so we're coming up on 24 years that the building's been in operation. Like anything, when this building was built, this panel that we have in the department that we've had issues with has circuit boards and diodes and stuff in it that are no longer serviceable or replaceable or available for repair if a drastic thing would happen. So once Lieutenant Chris Kent is my building maintenance guy. So he got with our existing contractor, Johnson Control. They came in and evaluated the system. Initially, we thought we could possibly just do the fire alarm panel. But after they brought one of their engineers in, it was found that devices that are throughout the building with our smoke detection and our heat detection in the attic space, along with some of our horn strobes, et cetera, would not acclimate to a new panel. So trying to keep the building protected, it's a big investment in the community. We got a quote from Johnson Control with the assistance of Mr. Stanley and Paul Pride. We were able to get a quote. I know there was some question when we came to Finance Committee for the housekeeping, but in speaking to Jim, since it's all their wiring and their devices that are currently in the building, the big word that she said about not doing the bidding part of that was great, because we can have one person come in. The quote's probably 10 months old. Lieutenant Kent reached out to them, and they will still honor the current quote as it was written to us. So if you have any questions.
And I'm assuming that the reason we're usually one supplier is because using some of the existing equipment, he can recover some of that.
Yeah. Like I said, it's all their wiring. So everything that they strung through that building to connect their current devices, really the only thing we're going to have to replace will be some of the smoke detectors and the heat detectors and some of the horn strobes. It's already their wiring, so we won't have to have somebody come through and rewire the entire building. So,
Okay. Other questions or comments?
Motion to suspend the rules.
Motion to suspend. Thank you, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
Motion to suspend the rules by Katie Hedges, seconded by Jeff Hallinan. Roll call, please, on the motion to suspend council rules.
Hedges.
Yes.
Tice.
Yes.
Blitzka.
Yes.
Hallinan.
Yes.
Moats.
Yes.
Lukastak.
Yes.
Duval.
Yes.
Motion for passage by Katie Hedges, seconded by Tom Duval. Roll call, please, on the motion for passage.
Hedges.
Yes.
Tice.
Yes.
Blitzka.
Yes.
Hallinan.
Yes.
Moats.
Yes.
Lukastak.
Yes.
Duval.
Yes.
The ordinance passes.
Is assigned 1282, 2025. An ordinance to establish sanitary sewer rates for the connections and miscellaneous sanitary fees of the users of the sanitary sewer of the city of Circleville, Ohio.
Council, you've heard the first reading of this ordinance, again from the Service Committee. Tom?
Again, Mr. Keller, President Keller, Jim?
Yeah, I'm going to bring up Utility Director Brian Frost, who's been with the city for 37 years and is well-versed in what's going on with these
Thank
rates.
you.
So, Brian, you're welcome. And just so you know, everyone, so we have 4 ordinances coming up back to back to back to back related to water and sewer rates. So, Brian, come right on up.
President Keller, am I able to ask a question to Brian before he speaks?
Sure.
Okay. My question is, so unfortunately, the reason that I had asked Mr. Horning who he was speaking on behalf of, yesterday there was a op-ed piece cloaked as a news article in the Herald regarding this discussion. It went live on Facebook last night. Unfortunately, there were several inaccuracies in the article.
That's correct.
So I'm hoping that those can be outlined right off the rip so that we can set that straight before this discussion is had.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. And I do want to echo President Keller's sentiment. I want to thank you folks in the gallery for coming. It's a pleasure to hear your testimony as well. As you know, we had a rate study, or rate presentation rather, 2 weeks ago at Service Committee. The article last night in the paper referenced a rather exorbitant amount of money. I'm not downplaying that $13 a month on average isn't something substantial for people. I understand that. But it wasn't $100 a month, right off the rip. In fact, it was much larger than, I think it quoted $178. I think the actual by 2030, I think it was more 130. And that's for a 4 CCF user, when in town our average is more likely a 2 or a 3, especially, elderly couples, things like that. And when it comes to regulation, These regulations are real. Let's start with emerging contaminants. I won't use a bunch of acronyms today. You heard them all a couple of weeks ago. PFAS, plastics, forever chemicals was picked up. That ball was picked up by Lee Zeldin, who happens to currently today be the director of the EPA, back in 2016. He was a co-founder of this. This is a personal mission of his. In 2024, that bill was finalized. Those regulations are real. We are in the third quarter of sampling for those forever chemicals currently. Our fourth will be in June of this year. They will be in the Consumer Confidence Report by rule in 2027. We will have a limit of 4 parts per trillion in 2029. They're not going anywhere. These aren't imaginary regulations, and I absolutely can share a copy of that. What that means and what we discovered, one of the benefits of this pilot is it allowed us to kind of see what was going on. A side stream is a concentrate line that runs off as a byproduct of the finished water. And what we have discovered, as we said for the last 3 years, in our concentrate is measurable PFAS. 3 different kinds, 3 different elements, emerging contaminants that we cannot treat. The second part of this rule is lead service line replacement. We all know Flint, Michigan happened. Things changed after that. We have lead service lines in our water, roughly 1,100 unknowns, 500-ish galvanized requiring replacement lines, and to this moment, less than probably 10 lead service lines identified. Those folks will be getting letters very shortly by the end of the year, as we did last year. That rule was finalized in 2024. Lead service line replacement begins in 2027. You have 10 years to replace 100% of all lead and galvanized lines. That's 10% a year. One of the kind of misconceptions about this, and one of the things we tried very hard to do, is assume that in projects like South Court Street, because we know currently today that's $8,000 to $10,000 that our residents are responsible for from the curb stop to their meter. We don't have to pay that. That is something the EPA, it gives us a little flexibility. Part of the consideration of these rates was taking that off their backs, taking that requirement off their backs. You know, there are a lot of intangible requirements with this. Filters. If we replace our main, they've got to put filters in. All of this stuff is very complex. It's all by rule, and it all comes to pass in 2027. We have a perfect opportunity for timing. We're at a conflux where I certainly understand, as a ratepayer myself, as everyone in this room, I understand that it's difficult to come up with an extra $13 a month. You know, it can be very distressing. But where does that intersect with what we have to provide safely to our customers? We are required to provide safe, contaminant-free drinking water. And 5 years ago, with the wastewater treatment plant, we ran into a situation that was no longer tenable. Our wastewater plant was deteriorated. It was functional life was done. That plant was built in 1976. The water treatment plant was built in 1962. One of our active high service pumps is from 1962. Our last major upgrades was in 1990. That's 35 years ago. Unfortunately, it's very shiny, it's very pretty, and I will always say our guys work extremely hard to keep these plants running. But O&M costs go up, replacement costs go up. It is past its useful life. It's an imminent danger. I mean, once you're past your useful life, and to your point about an additional consultant, Dave, no consultant will say that a 35, 45, 55-year-old plant, I mean, They're all going to see it the same way. They see regulation the same way. It's not a, will you treat this? It's, you will treat this. You have to treat this. And I hope that gives some clarity. And by the way, I do have a copy of that if you need one. Yep, I did bring a copy with me. I brought copies of our PFAS results. You know, again, it's not that I wanted to see it. I know we kept saying it, but there it is. And the funny thing about limits is they don't go up. They only get tighter. They only go down. And 4 trillions is extremely hard to hit. And we don't have a, well, it's not even a discussion with our current. We have to go to membrane filtration in order to be able to do it. The nice part about that is, and not to gloss over those things, but the very nicest part of that is the fun byproduct is we get softened water. No more bottled water, no more softener if you don't want it, no more bags of salt. We get softened water because of something we have to do. All of the years of jokes about Circleville's terrible 400 plus, hardness water, gone. We can interchange at will with Earnhardt. The wastewater plant, you could open the gate, flush right through, violate, pay your fines, and pollute the river. That's our water treatment plant. There is no backup. Earnhardt Hill cannot supply us. They don't have the capacity. If that fails, if we can't remove contaminants that people have a right to have removed, if we can't do that, there's nowhere to go. There's nothing else we can do. Truck water in. There's a neighboring community just down the road. The EPA showed up, it wasn't that long ago, cut their lines. They now buy water from the county. The alternatives just aren't good. And so I appreciate those comments. I appreciate you guys coming. I really do. And I'm thankful to anybody that wants to get the proper information. Always reach out. I'm 60 years old, a ratepayer. The people I am fortunate enough to be surrounded with, we're ratepayers. We live in this. We do what we have to do. I don't enjoy it. I wish I could tell you, hey, let's cut those things $10 a month. I would love to be able to say that. This isn't a matter of something shiny. This is a matter of treating contaminants.
Brian, am I safe to say that yourself or Jim Stanley are available to the public or anyone that wants to come into the office and ask questions, ask for letters, documents,
anything,
the reasoning, you are available for that information?
Absolutely. Anything you want. I enjoy talking about it. It's been my life for 37 years. I enjoy talking about it. I'm glad to. I'm happy to.
Ryan, we've had a concern about iron here in the water. I don't chew my water, but it's been high.
Yep.
Itself. Where are we with doing something about that? I know our level's been low enough according to EPA and so on, but will this softening do anything with the hard water itself? I mean,
yes.
I have a water boss and I use pitchers of water,
Yep.
Do everything I can.
This will do all of that.
Yeah.
It'll actually, funny you bring up iron, it ponds in the back. We've got a, containment pond that we would have hoped years ago would have taken that to the wastewater treatment plant. That's part of this project. Hardness will be down around 120 to 150, just like bottled water. Obviously, you can't take it to 0. You'd have DI water, and that tastes terrible.
Where's the PFAS come in?
How do you mean?
Into our, we have to have the membrane in order to eliminate or to cut down the PFAS
We
levels.
We do.
Itself. Where does that come from?
Plastics, everything you can imagine. Your clothing, plastic everywhere.
Can-
Microphones, water bottles everywhere.
Brian, may I touch on that?
Yes.
I was just reading in the paper sometime, I don't remember where, of Chillicothe. They've got wherever, they got rubber mailed, now they've got Mead, and they had a pumping well in Mead.
Yep.
If they stop pumping, the cone of influence disappears and those chemicals start traveling everywhere. We have 2 cone of influences here in Pickaway County that are very nicely controlling the water and the way, it's cone of influence, keeping all those
Yes.
chemicals within a controlled space. But what happens if either of those, they're major companies. I don't think the chance of them going out is very low, but
Right.
if they go out of business, our protection is not there.
Is not there.
Sorry, I just.
No, that's perfectly okay. Yes,
Brian, is our water contaminated now? The way you're talking, it sounds like we're contaminated.
not our finished water. What that concentrate line does is it's actually a blended concentration 5 times over. So what we see is there, but the finished product is still too low for detect. We're okay at the moment. I don't know when that doesn't become the case, but all of this data is one big, shove to the EPA. So they will be aware.
So right now, we're within EPA standards and
Yes.
everything's fine for.
Yes. And I cannot stress enough, we are optimally positioned right now. As difficult as it may be to digest, we are optimally positioned right now to meet 2027 and 2029. That's, I hope that makes sense.
Katie?
Thank you. At the last meeting where this was talked about, it was also discussed what a average increase was year over year.
Mhm.
You had, after the meeting, sent council some information about that 6% annual increase and what that would look like had we done that historically.
I did.
Can you share some of that?
I sure can. I appreciate you bringing that up. I did an exercise. One of the industry standards, typically for water and wastewater plants infrastructure, is a 5 to 7% annual increase. I did this kind of exercise kind of on my own, and I went back to 1989, the year I started. Started with 1990 rates and moved forward. And what you came up with was where we are currently paying for a 4-user, $77.56. Had we done that all through time instead of large gaps where we didn't have rate increases, or where maybe our rate increase was a superficial 1 or 2%, we would be currently today paying $126.52, or about $50 more for water and sewer than we are currently. That's where we should be ideally. And if you looked at the chart, that would put us, instead of more on the lower end, it would put us up with our contemporaries, probably even a little bit higher had we kept up. Even at the end, I took this exercise out over the next 5 years, and we were still $20 to $30 shy of where we might have been had we done this through the course of history. Obviously, that's not your fault, but that's just the sort of dilemma we looked at for the last year and a half with this rate study. We took these numbers and we beat them across, up, down, back, and forth across a rate model tool that they gave us. With our CIP, we sent them 20 different forms, expense budgets, revenue budgets, cash positions, everything we could add in, everything we could lump in. And we wrestled these until November 3rd of this year, I think was our last iteration, trying to find the best way to do this in the most gradual, least immediately impactful way and still get to where we need to be. And I absolutely think with this accomplished, I think we can take a long, hard look in 2030 at rates and see where they are. See what kind of success we have. Right now, we have tremendous momentum with grants. We got a $3 million grant to do this design, this principal forgiveness at the water treatment plant. We could, by keeping this momentum, keep that train going. We're never going to get a plant paid for.
Brian, would you talk a little bit, because I think folks may not understand the difference water cost to the sewer cost, which usually is considerably more than the water. And perhaps maybe that'll allow people to understand a little bit why the difference is, in the rate and so on itself, just for all of us.
Sure. And I think Jim said this well earlier. When you get electricity into your house. When you get water into your house, you get a service coming in and you get a service coming out. The wastewater treatment plant has a unique amount of living bacteria, living organisms, things, complex chemistry that treats that wastewater before it heads to the receiving stream. Water treatment has its own separate issues of bringing pulling water from the wells, disinfection, cleansing, sending the water to you to drink. So you have this bill that is very generally called the water bill, but it is one fraction water of $77.56 for usage, probably 32 to 37 of that is water. The remainder is sewer. Because sewer is, and those are just coincidentally the rates we addressed most significantly in 2020. But you will always pay a little bit more on the sewer side than you will because the treatment is, expanded. Does that kind of answer?
Yeah, I just wanted to share with the other thing is too, that we have these lift stations around Circleville, and we're having some concerns. Obviously you and Jim and staff have had concerns about things that are ending up going through these pumps and killing the pumps and so on. Obviously I have one across the street, from my house, and you folks are over there a lot trying to do some. Why are you having to work on those lift stations?
I have suspicions to accurately answer your question. There are an inundation of rags. Today it looked like dish rags, washcloths. The pumps that are in, and I'm speaking specifically of the lift station up on Edgewood. Thankfully, at our shop today, we have 2 new pumps that we spent significant amount on that will discharge those kinds of things. To your point, I don't know why in the last year and a half, give or take, we've had this influx. We have done door hangers, mailings. We have been around. We've certainly been out to a couple of customers' homes. We're trying everything. I don't know what it's going to take to stop it, but I know how we're going to fix it going forward.
So the pumps will push whatever those dish rags or other sundry of things.
The amperage on the pumps will hit a certain point. If they go up in and clog, this will actually reverse flow. The impeller's designed to discharge back into the lift station, fire off a high amp alarm, and we'll be there.
Okay, very good.
So an extreme measure, but we had to take it.
Sure.
Because we cannot seem to get that.
A lot of money paid, which also drives up the cost of our payments now to the city for water.
And I don't know if that's isolated to one resident, multiple residents, but these are the problems with lift stations from time to time.
Those pumps alone. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I remember us talking about them. They were what, 20 grand?
Oh yeah. Yeah. We've got about 40,000 in those.
Yeah. 2 pumps. Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you, Brian, for all your research and your information. It's really helpful. When I first heard the presentation a couple of weeks ago, yes, I was concerned about the rate increase for especially our retired people and for a lot of people where, money is really tight. What really triggered me was the contaminants. And with all of the growth that is happening, we're not talking about just house growth outside of Circleville. How do the tenements, be impacted in our water system with all of the industries that are built? Is that a high risk? And so this would be a preventative if there were to be an escalation.
To that point, yes. I don't know that I can speculate on what they may or may not create for us upstream, more or less. It's possible, certainly, but we would be in a position to where it would be irrelevant to us.
Having
'Cause we
grown
would be
up
able to
not
treat-
too far from Flint, Michigan, that heightened my awareness. And what I appreciated about the last, presentation of the PowerPoint and everything, of saying, I see this as health preventative. And he said, yeah, if you have a car that's getting old, you wait until it really dies. And the fear and what could potentially happen, without this protection really frightens me. And it could potentially really bring some lawsuits, I think, even from people.
Well, I agree with that. And I think you're getting a lot of benefit out of something like this. You're getting a little peace of mind if contaminants are significant to you, as they are to me. You get peace of mind, but you also get tangible benefits from soft water and the savings that represents in your coffee pots and your filters and your, on and on and on. So I do think it has tangible benefit.
And I remember doing the tour with you and Jim, and to hear about the hard water. And I do have a water softener. But I am also aware that with 42% of the houses in this community that are renters, many of those people do not have water softeners. Their landlords most likely do not. I may be wrong on that.
Right.
But again, it would be a benefit for those
Absolutely.
who cannot afford. It's expensive to have a water softener.
It is indeed.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So the bottom line, I've got the same data you're looking at. The forecast is to increase by about $11. And I'm looking at this, and a couple bucks of that is the wastewater. So you're really only talking about the water bill going up $8-9.
Roughly, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Counselor, other questions as we'll wrap up? Go ahead, Sharon.
Yeah, you said the $13 a year, but that's each year. So additionally.
That's
year.
the average of that.
Right. So
And
that's
again,
$7 bill, which at the end of the 5 years will be 80% higher, will be 140, I believe was the
yeah,
figure.
I think
that you
that's
gave us.
correct.
So
And-
that's the part that keeps me up at night.
Understood.
Because we do have 21% of our residents are living at the poverty line.
Understood.
All the people that we were collecting food from who have food insecurities, I mean, unless they're homeless, they still have water bills, and this is going to hurt them. This is a big proposal that you've given us. It's got a lot of components to it, including the rates increases, including maintenance on the aerators, the valves, the actuators, pumps, and all of that. Is there any way we can break this up, is my question. Do maintenance on the facility now, put in a rate increase this year for your 6% or whatever, hold off on the big project until we find out about grants. Find out. In the past, when we've had capital projects, we've done our engineering studies first, then applied for the grants, then put it into place. I doubt that if we put this into place now, there are ever going to be any rate decreases. Like once we put it in place, it's on the backs of the citizens, all of them, and we're not a rich community. $13 a month isn't that much, but another $70 a month by 5 years from now, that's going to be hard for people,
Understood.
especially those on fixed incomes. So it seems like this is a big ask right up front, and it might be a way to break it up a little bit and postpone until we can find out, if there's grants available that would alleviate some of the burden on the citizens.
What's if we don't do this? We're talking, I know, any dollar rate is going to cause concern.
Mhm.
What's the negative side of this if we don't move forward now?
We risk losing the momentum that we have in places like the water treatment plant. Lead service lines, like I said, is going to fire regardless. So if we lose 26 and we're into 27, we have 10% or roughly 150 to 160 residences that have to come off that list. 10% of that schedule. To put it in context, the South Court project, I think, is roughly 48 homes. So you're looking at something roughly 3 times that size.
I'm not proposing that we hold off on the lead service lines. I know that needs to be done.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Break up the project. Just hold off on the $56 million, plant.
If we do, we're playing a game. We're playing a game that we won't see what we've already indicated there, that a plume won't come through in 3 days and blow those numbers out to the point that we now have to act immediately. I can't tell you what $26 and $27, how those might exponentially grow. And it's just hard to say. 20%. I know they got $10 million a few years ago when we started our wastewater treatment plant just down the road, and they sat on it for 2 years, and the project, they got 10 million in grant, and the project cost inflated by $20 million. So those are the kinds of things that are happening.
So if you don't do anything now, it's a dice roll or it's a kick down the road.
Yep.
But if all of a sudden you have something bad go wrong,
Right.
or our system's contaminated, the new plan or fix is years down the road, correct? To be able to fix all that, it's years. This new plan is years down the road.
We have a chance right now, if we get this thing underway now, could possibly be built probably by the end of 29. So even as it sits right now, if we started in 27, end of 26, 27, 28, 29, the wastewater plant was a little over 3 years. So that's why I stated earlier, this is the optimum time to meet the 2029 deadline when it will be a limit and we will have to act immediately.
A couple last comments. Katie, you had your hand in the mayor.
Thank you. I was just going to thank you, Brian, for coming and providing factual information. That was really helpful. The other piece I would say too is no one up here wants to raise taxes for anybody, whether it's $13 or $100 or whatever the article said. I think that's really important that that's highlighted. And I also appreciate everybody that came today because I don't think that that's lost on anybody. I do disagree with a statement, though, hold off on a $56 million plan, because I think to your point, I was going to say what you just touched on. Costs of construction and costs of infrastructure are not going down.
Right.
They are increasing. So while I certainly understand, can we hold off? By doing that, we are absolutely going to have increased costs to get this project finished.
Absolutely.
It's not just holding off on the plant, it's holding off on potentially protecting the water, which in my opinion is the service that we provide to the citizens that we need to do.
That is correct. That's how I feel.
This isn't changing. I mean, the 4 wells we have, those will still be our water source.
Yes. And well, actually, I think part of the project itself is a new well that'll be dug. So we'll add a little redundancy.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Mayor Michelle Blanton, you had your hand.
Thank you. I was just going to speak a little bit to that, what Councilperson Hedges was saying about the cost will go up. The fact of the matter, too, with those grant dollars is everybody has to do this. This is not just a guideline that the city of Circleville has to go by. And so if we have a plan established for what our plant looks like, we can begin going after dollars for this project now, rather than waiting when everybody else is going to be submitting applications for the same dollars.
That's absolutely true.
Okay. Brian, thank you for being here.
You're very
Any
welcome.
Final comments?
Yeah, I wanted to say 2 of those ordinances, 2 of the 4 that you have, one is very clearly water, one is very clearly sewer rates. The other 2 are simply connection fees and miscellaneous costs that only represent a 2.8% inflation factor. Those, you know, if you compare them to last rates, same thing we did in 2020. Those are just simple connection fees. just wanted to clear that up in case that was any issue.
Brian, thank you very much. Jim, thanks a lot.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Thanks.
So council, you've heard the first reading of this ordinance. Did you read it, Melissa? It's been a while.
I did.
Establishing the water and sewer rates. Tom, any other further comment?
I have none on this one, other than this is a very simply inflationary correction. Not everybody pays it unless you're getting a new tap. So that would not really affect a lot of people.
Yeah, and this is for sanitary sewer taps.
That's correct.
Go ahead and reread the title, please.
An ordinance to establish sanitary sewer rates for connections and miscellaneous sanitary fees of the users of the sanitary sewer of the city of Circleville, Ohio.
Council, you've heard the first reading of this ordinance. Tom, any final comments from your committee?
None. None. I think it's pretty straightforward.
This is the one for the connections and tap fees.
Connections and tap fees.
Not
for
the sewer
for
rates.
sewer, Right.
For sewer.
Katie?
Motion to suspend the rules.
Motion to suspend the rules by Katie Hedges, seconded by John Modes. Roll call, please, on the motion to suspend the rules.
Hedges.
Yes.
Tice.
Yes.
Blitzka.
Yes.
Hallinan.
Yes.
Moats.
Yes.
Lukasek.
Yes.
Duval.
Yes.
Council, you're free to act on the ordinance.
Move. to-
Motion
move
for
forward.
passage.
Yes.
Seconded by Tom Kutzka. Roll call, please.
Hedges.
Yes.
Tice. Klitzka.
Yes.
Tice.
Yes.
Klitzka.
Yes.
Hallinan.
Yes.
Moats.
Yes.
Lukasek.
Yes.
Duval.
Yes.
This ordinance passes.
And is assigned 1283-2025. An ordinance to establish sanitary sewer rates for sanitary sewer service to properties discharging into the sanitary sewer system of the city of Circleville, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Council, you've heard the first reading of this ordinance from the Service Committee. Tom?
Just to pick up on what Brian has told us, this is we paid the big hunk, if you will, when we put the new sanitary sewer modification in place, sanitary waste treatment plant in place. And therefore, this is simply, not simply, but it is indeed just a cost of living increase. It's not a major increase. Of the $11 we're going to talk about, the combined cost, this is a very small portion of it. This is just keeping up what we've already paid for, we're now keeping current, as opposed to what you've done, the last 30-some years and not keeping current.
And again, this is for sanitary sewer.
Sanitary sewer rates. This is what you pay a month and what you pay per CCF.
Questions or comments? Katie?
Motion to suspend the rules.
Motion to suspend the rules by Katie Hedges, seconded by Tom Duval. Roll call, please, on the motion to suspend the rules.
Hedges.
Yes.
Tice.
I would like to see this held for a second reading so that more people can be informed. So my vote is no.
Klitzka.
Yes.
Hallinan.
Yes.
Moats.
Yes.
Lukasek.
Yes.
Duval.
Yes.
Council rules are suspended. You're free to act on the ordinance. Is there a motion?
Motion for passage.
Motion for passage by Katie Hedges, seconded by Jeff Hallinan. Roll call, please, on the motion for passage.
Hedges.
Yes.
Tice.
No.
Klitzka.
Yes.
Hallinan.
Yes.
Moats.
Yes.
Lukasek.
Yes.
Duval.
Yes.
Council, the ordinance passes.
And is assigned 1284-2025. An ordinance to establish rates for water connections and miscellaneous water services to the users of the water work system of the city of Circleville, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Council, this is the first reading of this ordinance related to the water tap connection.
And again, we've spent much time discussing this. I can itemize the fact we've done the study on what the economics look like. We've looked at the study of the condition of the plant. We've looked at what the new filtration will do for us and how does that fit with the EPA. That's the good news. The bad news is it's going to cost money. And the only thing I would ask us to do as a council is us picking up on the mayor's, one of her central thoughts as we're in this year is how are we transparent? And on that basis, I would suggest we put this in for three readings, not so people can come and yell and be upset, but they can come and ask questions and get a better understanding of what we're doing and why we're doing it, just like I think we've done that tonight. So that's my only suggestion.
And this is for the water connection. order.
No, this is for the water rate.
Well,
No,
she
we're doing-
just read the
We're on the
connection
connections.
ordinance.
We're on-
Yeah.
Then wait for the next one.
I thought you were.
I'm sorry, I misread that.
Yeah.
Therefore, on this one, the connection,
Yes.
no comment, sir.
Anyone else?
No.
He'd get there. I knew he'd get
Got it.
Motion to suspend. the
there.
rules.
Motion to suspend the rules by Katie Hedges, second by Jeff Hallinan. Roll call, please, on the motion to suspend council rules.
Hedges,
Yes.
Tice,
Yes.
Kutzka,
Yes.
Hallinan,
Yes.
Moats,
Yes.
Lukasak,
Yes.
Duval.
Yes.
I'll make a motion for passage.
Motion for passage by Tom Kutzka, seconded by John Moats. Roll call, please, on the motion for passage.
Hedges,
Yes.
Tice,
Yes.
Kutzka,
Yes.
Hallinan,
Yes.
Moats,
Yes.
Lukasak,
Yes.
Duval.
Yes.
Ordinance passes.
It is assigned 1285, 2025. An ordinance to establish water rates for water services to the users of the waterworks system of the city of Circleville, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Now, Tom, can you say it all again?
What I will say is that's how I read it the first time. Sorry.
That's okay.
I will spare you a second.
Yeah, this is the ordinance related to the water rates that we've been discussing at length. Any other comments or questions from council before I accept the motion?
Watch Brian on YouTube on the replay. That's pretty explanatory.
Yeah. Is there a motion for this ordinance?
I'll motion to suspend the rules.
Motion to suspend the rules by Katie Hedges,
Second.
seconded by Jeff Hallinan. Roll call, please.
Hedges,
Yes.
Tice,
No.
Kutzka,
Yes.
Hallinan,
Yes.
Moats,
Yes.
Lukasak,
Yes.
Duval.
No.
We do not have 6 votes to suspend the rules. This ordinance will be held for a second reading on December the 16th.
A resolution authorizing the city of Circleville to apply for, accept, and enter into a water supply revolving loan account agreement to fund the utility improvements for Walnut Street project construction, tentatively award the utility improvements for Walnut Street to the successful bidder, and designating a dedicated repayment source for the loan. Just real quick, do you guys have to motion to hold that for a second reading?
No, because I didn't have enough votes to suspend the rules, it automatically goes for a second. Good question. Council, you've heard the first reading of this resolution from the Service Committee.
I would put the two together. I'm sorry, Jim, go ahead.
No.
You can
Yeah,
explain it better than I can, my friend.
Yeah, this is for the CDBG project that also involves some lead service line grant money that we received. So an ordinance allowing us to move forward with that.
Other questions or comments?
Other than basically the two tie together, correct? You had to do the second one to make them happy to give you the first grant, if I'm
Yes.
understanding that correctly.
The
It's all
CDBG
intertwined.
grant actually took a lot longer to get. The lead service line grant didn't take as long, but yeah, they're two different funding sources, excuse me.
What, Jim, what's the approximate number of homes that still have lead piping?
Well, that's a good question because a lot of them are unknown. And I use Brian's numbers. There's 1,100 unknown homes. Now, we know a lot of them are going to be in these older neighborhoods that'll have galvanized lines.
Right.
So the project here will replace all of the service lines. So even if they're a copper line, which someday is going to become a rule as well, all lines will be replaced with the grant funds given to us by the EPA, so there will be no cost to consumers. So
And that's the plus. Absolutely. Thank you.
Councilor, is there a motion?
Suspend rule.
Motion to suspend the rules by Tom Duval, seconded by Audrey Lukasak. Roll call, please, on the motion to suspend the rules.
Hedges,
Yes.
Tice,
Yes.
Kutzka,
Yes.
Hallinan,
Yes.
Moats,
yes.
Lukasak,
Yes.
Duval.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to, what's that?
For adoption?
Yes.
Tom Kutzka moves to adopt the resolution. Is there a second? Seconded by John Moats. Roll call, please, on the motion to adopt the resolution.
Hedges,
Yes.
Tice,
Yes.
Kutzka,
Yes.
Hallinan,
Yes.
Moats,
Yes.
Lukasak,
Yes.
Duval.
Yes.
The resolution is adopted.
It is assigned 1286, 2025, a resolution authorizing the Director of Public Service to apply for, accept, and enter into a water supply revolving loan account agreement to fund the utility improvements for Walnut Street project construction, to award the utility improvements for Walnut Street to Darby Creek Excavating, Inc., and designating a dedicated repayment source for the loan.
Now, this one I would ask that you table. We're still waiting on some official paperwork from the CDBG folks before we can move this forward. So if you could table it until we get that, I would appreciate it.
Table, or you want it held for multiple readings?
I guess you could hold it for multiple readings as
I
well.
mean, because when do you expect to get that? By
That's a
year
good
end?
question.
By year end?
It's possible.
I would
We gotta have one more
recommend,
council.
well, I recommend you hold it for multiple reasons. On the third reading, the information is not here, then we can table it.
Okay.
How
All
about
right.
that?
I'll make a motion to hold it for second reading.
Motion to hold the resolution for second reading by Jeff Hallinan, second by John Moach. Roll call, please.
Hedges.
Yes.
Tice.
Yes.
Blitzka.
Yes.
Hallinan.
Yes.
Moats.
Yes.
Lukasak.
Yes.
Duval.
Yes.
A resolution authorizing the Director of Public Service to apply for, accept, and enter into an Ohio Water Development Authority design loan agreement on behalf of the city of Circleville for the design of the new water facilities for the North Side Waterline Project, designating a dedicated repayment source for the loans and declaring an emergency.
Council, you've heard the first reading of this resolution, again from the Service Committee.
Again, we did the same thing for Walnut Street. This is the money to do the design work. Because that's done, then we can go ahead today and move forward on implementing that installation of those lines.
Yeah, this'll do the design, and then once we get the design done, we can apply for same type of loans. It won't be CDBG, it'll be for lead service lines, and probably OPWC loan and funds, so there'll be some grants involved with this as well.
Thank you.
All right. Is there a motion?
Motion to suspend the rules.
Motion to suspend the rules by Jeff Hallinan, second by Audrey Lukasak. Roll call, please.
Hedges.
Yes.
Tice.
Yes.
Blitzka.
Yes.
Hallinan.
Yes.
Moats.
Yes.
Lukasak.
Yes.
Duval.
Yes.
Is there a motion? Motion for adoption by Katie Hedges, seconded by Sherry Tice. Roll call, please, on the motion for adoption.
Hedges.
Yes.
Tice.
Yes.
Blitzka.
Yes.
Hallinan.
Yes.
Moats.
Yes.
Lukasak.
Yes.
Duval.
Yes.
The resolution is adopted.
And assigned 1287, 2025, an ordinance authorizing the Director of Public Service to execute a right-of-way easement to American Electric Power Company, granting it the right to install and maintain electric transmission lines across lands owned by the city of Circleville and used as part of the wastewater treatment plan and declaring an emergency.
Council, you've heard the first reading of this ordinance from the Service Committee.
Again, we need a new power line. That's where they're going to run it, but go ahead.
Yes, yeah, this'll give us more reliable connection to the power grid. So AEP actually approached us with this, and it'll help with their delivery of power to the wastewater treatment plant, so.
I'll make a motion to suspend the rules.
Motion to suspend the rules by Tom Kutzkis, seconded by Sherry Tice. Roll call, please, on the motion to suspend the rules.
Hedges.
Yes.
Tice.
Yes.
Blitzka.
Yes.
Hallinan.
Yes.
Moats.
Yes.
Lukasak.
Yes.
Duval.
Yes.
Motion for passage?
Oh, go ahead,
Motion for
Sherry.
passage by Sherry Tice, seconded by Jeff Hallinan. Roll call, please, on the motion for passage.
Hedges.
Yes.
Tice.
Yes.
Blitzka.
Yes.
Hallinan.
Yes.
Moats.
Yes.
Lukasak.
Yes.
Duval.
Yes.
Ordinance passes.
Is assigned 1288, 2025, an ordinance establishing a special revenue fund known as the Street Improvement 0.1% Income Tax Fund 232 and declaring an emergency.
Council, you've heard the first reading of this ordinance from the Finance Committee. Katie?
Thank you, President Keller. So this and one and the next one are kind of partnered together. These are the required funds that have to be set up as a result of the safety levy passing. So this specific ordinance establishes the revenue fund known as the Street Improvement 0.1% Income Tax Fund 232. So this was for the 0.1 specific to streets for the street and fire levy.
And so this is for the levy that the citizens voted for and only can be used for that fund.
Correct.
That's correct. Okay, is there a motion?
Motion to suspend the rules.
Motion to suspend the rules by Katie Hedges, seconded by Tom Kutzka. Roll call, please, on the motion to suspend the rules.
Hedges.
Yes.
Tice.
Yes.
Blitzka.
Yes.
Hallinan.
Yes.
Moats.
Yes.
Lukasak.
Yes.
Duval.
Yes.
Motion for passage.
Motion for passage by Katie Hedges, seconded by Sherry Tice. Roll call, please, on the motion for passage.
Hedges.
Yes.
Tice.
Yes.
Blitzka.
Yes.
Hallinan.
Yes.
Moats.
Yes.
Lukasak.
Yes.
Duval.
Yes.
The ordinance passes.
It is assigned 1289, 2025. An ordinance establishing a special revenue fund known as the Fire Department 0.4% Income Tax Fund 231 and declaring an emergency.
Council, for the first reading of this ordinance, again from the Finance Committee.
Thank you, President Keller. So this is the other piece of it. This is Tax Fund 231, which is named the Fire Department 0.4% Income Tax Fund. This is the other side of the levy that was passed and establishes that fund, which, as Mr. Hallinan pointed out with the previous one, can only be spent for purposes of supporting the fire department.
Very good. Is there a motion?
Motion to suspend the rules.
Motion to suspend the rules by Katie Hedges, second by Jeff Hallinan. Roll call, please.
Hedges.
Yes.
Tice.
Yes.
Flitzka.
Yes.
Hallinan.
Yes.
Moats.
Yes.
Lukasak.
Yes.
Duval.
Yes.
Motion for passage.
Motion for passage by Katie Hedges, seconded by Tom Klitzka. Roll call, please.
Hedges.
Yes.
Tice.
Yes.
Flitzka.
Yes.
Hallinan.
Yes.
Moats.
Yes.
Lukasak.
Yes.
Duval.
Yes.
The ordinance passes.
It is assigned 1290, 2025. An ordinance amending the annual appropriation ordinance in the general fund 101 of the city of Circleville.
Council, for the first reading of this ordinance from the Finance Committee.
Thank you, President Keller. So this was our 10th housekeeping ordinance of the year. It was for just over $1 million. However, the $1 million of the $1,065,000 that this housekeeping ordinance was for is for the first deposit into the grade separation account that we have. So we will make subsequent payments up until that project is ready to start. The city has to provide 10% of the total cost, which is an estimated $2.5 million. Mark, anything else?
We also added in the burial indigents, $1,000. So
Yes,
the million
thank you.
is now $1,066,000.
Yeah, thank you. That did get added at the finance floor. Thank you for pointing that out.
Is there a motion?
Motion to suspend the rules.
Motion to suspend the rules by Jeff Hallinan, seconded by Audrey Lukasak. Roll call, please, on the motion to suspend the rules.
Hedges.
Yes.
Tice.
Yes.
Flitzka.
Yes.
Hallinan.
Yes.
Moats.
Yes.
Lukasak.
Yes.
Duval.
Yes.
Council, you're free to act on the ordinance.
Motion for passage?
Motion for passage by Sherry Tice, seconded by Tom Klitzka. Roll call, please, on the motion for passage.
Hedges.
Yes.
Tice.
Yes.
Flitzka.
Yes.
Hallinan.
Yes.
Moats.
Yes.
Lukasak.
Yes.
Duval.
Yes.
The ordinance passes.
It is assigned 1291, 2025, an ordinance amending section 191.16 and 192.01, section 1B2 of the codified ordinances of the city of Circleville relating to the allocation of funds deposited in the income tax revenue fund and declaring an emergency.
Council, for the first reading of this ordinance, again from the Finance Committee.
Thank you, President Keller. Mark, can you explain this? The fundamentals of this?
Yeah. When we get our income tax revenue in, it is split towards our operations, day-to-day operations of the city, and also for bond repayment and finally capital improvements. This maintains the same level that it's been at for several years, which is an 89% split towards the operations of the city and 19% towards the repayment of bonds and towards capital improvements.
Thank you very much.
Is that in place by ordinance, I believe? The 81%, 19? Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
but it's
redone every
yes, it's just being redone, yes.
Every year.
Is there a motion?
Motion to suspend the rules.
Motion to suspend the rules by Katie Hedges, seconded by Jeff Hallinan. Roll call, please, on the motion to suspend the rules.
Hedges.
Yes.
Tice.
Yes.
Flitzka.
Yes.
Hallinan.
Yes.
Moats.
Yes.
Lukasak.
Yes.
Duval.
Yes.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion for passage, please.
Motion for passage by Tom Klitzka, seconded by Audrey Lukasak. Roll call, please, on the motion for passage.
Hedges.
Yes.
Tice.
Yes.
Flitzka.
Yes.
Hallinan.
Yes.
Moats.
Yes.
Lukasak.
Yes.
Duval.
Yes.
The ordinance passes.
It is assigned 1292, 2025. An ordinance amending section 191.01, 191.03, 191.07, 191.16, 192.01, 192.03, and 192.04 of the codified ordinances of the city of Circleville to comply with the increase of the city income tax rate as approved by the electors of the city and declaring an emergency.
Council, you've heard the reading of this final ordinance.
All right, Mark, take us home.
Okay. This is a repeat of the same one, but since of the same legislation that was just passed. But what it does is this is with the new tax rate included with this. The prior one did not have the 2.5%, it had the 2%. So again, this gives the exact same information, but it is with the new income tax rate included.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Motion to suspend the rules by Katie Hedges, seconded by Tom Duval. Roll call, please, on the motion to suspend the rules.
Hedges,
Yes.
Tice,
Yes.
Blitzka,
Yes.
Hallinan,
Yes.
Moats,
Yes.
Lukastak,
Yes.
Duval.
Yes.
Motion for passage.
Motion for passage by Sherry Tice, seconded by Audrey Lukasak. Roll call, please, on the motion for passage.
Hedges,
Yes.
Tice,
Yes.
Blitzka,
Yes.
Hallinan,
Yes.
Moats,
Yes.
Lukastak,
Yes.
Duval.
Yes.
The ordinance passes.
It is assigned 1293, 2025.
Melissa, is that it?
That is finally it.
Thank you, Melissa. You did a great job. Council, any other new business tonight before city council? Motion to adjourn. Jeff Hallinan motions to adjourn, seconded by Audrey Lukasak. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
City council meeting adjourns at 8:40 PM. Thank you.